Now we want to talk about some business automation from the perspective of best practices. We already know that it's a transformative tool and it can impact your business in such a great way. But by adopting some of these best practices, you can excel in your automation journey. So let's explore them together and learn more about what we can do to ensure our success. So, why do best practices matter? Ultimately, they act as a roadmap. They're going to minimize risk, ensure consistency, and maximize the benefits of optimization. So, what we're referring to are some established procedures and guidelines that have been identified to be the most effective and efficient way to achieve an outcome. This simply means that there are certain things you can do that ensure your success. So, by following these and making sure that you don't skip any of the steps in the process, your automation systems could be set up to make sure your business runs as smoothly as possible. So, business automation best practices are going to be things like clear objectives, holistic viewpoints, user centric designs, and putting security first. As far as clear objectives, you want to define clear and measurable objectives to meet your goals. This is going to make sure that everything aligns with overall business goals and even measure the success along the way. Setting these clear objectives will make sure that whenever you go to start implementing the automated systems, you can more effectively distribute them and seamlessly integrate them into your business. Now, looking at things from a holistic viewpoint, this helps you to consider the broader business ecosystem, meaning you're going to be thinking about everyone else, not just yourself. You want to look at the system and who it's supposed to benefit. Is it benefiting the user? Is it benefiting a business partner? Is it benefiting you? Whenever you look at it from this perspective, you are going to be able to integrate it correctly based on feedback from whomever is using it. That brings us into user-centric designs. Design your systems based on who is using it, not just based on how you would use it. If your customers are using it in a way that you would never touch it, you don't want to design it based off of your perspective, but you want to make sure that you're designing it based off of their perspective. Put yourself in their shoes. What makes their process easier? Then, of course, gather some feedback and ensure that you make any appropriate changes. Same thing with stakeholders, business partners, employees, and even yourself. You want to ensure that this is usable, accessible, and it's a positive experience for everyone. And then, of course, security. You want to prioritize protecting data, processes, and even systems from any type of breach or vulnerability. So always use a reputable source, something that people know well, and even something that has reputable security systems in place to ensure that everyone's data is protected. Next, we want to look at an iterative approach, documentation, open communication, and evaluation. So when you implement an automation process in phases, you want to start with any type of pilot project and learn from them. Then this will allow you to scale. What I basically mean by this is implement the automation, but do so in a way that allows you to be able to react to any open communication, which we are going to get to soon. This allows you to be able to build the process in a way that ultimately meets the needs of the user and not so much meet just the needs of the business. Keeping well maintained and comprehensive documentation for the process will help you to ensure clarity, and it's going to aid in any type of troubleshooting and training. Don't get me wrong, even if you set this up purely planned and everything is I's are dotted and T's are crossed, no matter what, you're going to run into challenges. You're going to have to troubleshoot. This means that it's going to take time for you to be able to pay attention to things. Keep documentation. This will allow you to be able to come back and troubleshoot things and fix them faster so that your experience is much smoother. Then, of course, you need open communication. Make sure that you maintain open channels for communication between any type of teams, end users, stakeholders, or anyone that is utilizing your automated systems so that they can address concerns. You can gather feedback and you can ensure that there's alignment across the board. This also allows you to be able to evolve the process to anyone that is asking for new features or anything like that. And then finally, you want to evaluate your vendor. Every single time you open up a tool and you start to use it, you're going to get to know it. But Sometimes you need to take a step back, evaluate the vendor, and make sure that it is fitting every single need that you could possibly want. If your users are asking for a particular feature or anything of the sort, you want to make sure that that vendor provides it. If it doesn't, start to evaluate the market and look for a new one. Next, we want to future proof. This is where you're going to choose automatic solutions that are adaptable. They want to be able to evolve with any technological advancements and any changing business needs that you may have. This right here is going to require you to do a lot of research, so make sure that you're constantly paying attention. One piece of advice is always set aside 2, maybe 3 hours for you to be able to look at tools, look at current tools, and do the evaluation properly. Now, you are going to run into some challenges just like everything else. You are going to have some people that have a little bit of a resistance to change. Anytime you change anything in your organization, whether it be partners, stakeholders, and even the end user, people are going to resist the change. Think about it from the perspective of OS systems. I can think most recently that Windows went from Windows 10 to Windows 11, and there is a massive uproar in the community because there are still people who prefer 10 over 11. And that right there is probably the best example. People are going to be resistant to change. You just have to overcome it. Then, of course, you've got navigating automation tools. Because there are so many different automation tools that are available, it can become extremely difficult for you to select the right one for you. This is really going to rely heavily on your ability to pay attention to what the customer's needs are and what your needs are so that you can select the one that has the right features. And then keeping up with the skill and keeping up with the training. If you have employees, partners, end users, and of course, even yourself, you are going to have to remain trained and skilled to be able to effectively use the automation systems and put these best practices into place so that your automation systems are seamlessly integrated into your business process. This does take time and it is going to come with challenges that need to be overcome, including resistance to change and new automation tools. But ultimately, if you keep up with the training and you keep on gaining new skills, you should be okay. Some of the benefits to adhering to these best practices is consistent outcomes, risk mitigation, and an enhanced return on investment, or otherwise known as an ROI. So, consistent outcomes are going to be a standardized practice that lead to predictable and reliable results. If your automation systems are working seamlessly with your business, you can start to predict any type of result, and that's going to get more and more reliable as time goes on. Having the ability to predict a result and rely on that prediction can help you to make better business decisions, especially whenever it comes to increasing your revenue as a business in whole. Then you've got risk mitigation. This can reduce the chance of errors, oversights, and possibly security breaches. You want to reduce risk where you can, and reducing risk in the automated process of your business is essential because it's automated. You don't want to every single day revisit your automated systems. You want to be able to leave them in place so that they work for you. So, the better you're planned, the more you can mediate the risk. And then, of course, enhanced ROI. Optimizing your business can help you with increasing your return on investment because there are more time for you to be able to accomplish innovative goals, tasks, and objectives. Put your mind where the money is, not where the remedial, repetitive tasks are. So, in conclusion, business automation, when guided by particular best practices, can become a strategic asset that drives efficiency, innovation, and growth. So, adhere to these principles. Think through them. If you have questions, reach out. It is essential for a business owner to be able to navigate the complexities of automation with confidence and ensure a lasting result of success for their business.